Are you having difficulties letting go of things that no longer serve you and are interfering with your essence of spirituality? If you said yes, this episode is for you. All right, so each week I always present a painting that I created, and then the episode is about the painting basically, and it always comes with a spiritual message. So it is a form of spiritual art. So I'm going to describe it. So if you're just listening to this episode, I'm going to describe it to you. All right, so on all four corners of the canvas, there are chains that are connected to a circle in the middle. And each one of these chains, of course, is things that people do not let go in their life. And then there are some words that are in black and silver. It's almost in their aura lining. And so these are just some things that may be something that you're holding on to, such as fear, addictions, setting limits, worrying, attachment to results, unhealthy relationships, surrender, stress. We have people pleasing and negative thinking. So I know there are so much more out there. So if I didn't name what you're holding on to, then you can always think about, well, that is what I'm holding on to. All right. So in the middle of of the chains, is a orange orange glow with a yellow glow outside. So what it's doing is it's cleansing all of these awful things that people are trying to get rid of. And so there's one surrender denial. It's coming up, so it's being cleansed. Okay. So somebody probably had denial in their life. And so they're surrendering to this denial. There's also surrender to trust, surrender to spirit, surrender to joy, surrender to complete healing, surrender to inner peace, surrender to your soul's path, surrender to the magic of who you are, and surrender to the wisdom of your body. So, all of these things can really help you break those chains with surrendering, and it will help with all the other things that you're having a hard time letting go. So, the message with this painting is, why are you still holding onto spiritual energy that no longer serves you? This energy will attach to you as a chain, and its hold is strong until you decide to break free from the chain. You deserve a fulfilling life. You are worth it. You are strong. You are love. Now let go of what no longer serves you. Once these chains are removed, replace them with love energy. You got this. And of course, this is from Spirit. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that painting and receiving the message that the painting came with. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a story. If Jesus was alive today, what he would tell us of how to break these chains, how to break things that no longer serves us. He was such love, and he just, I don't know how to explain it. He was a wonderful teacher. So I am going to go ahead and start it. So I hope you enjoy the story. A room of serenity. The art of spiritual decluttering. In the midst of her hectic life, Tracy's heart was burdened by the weight of unnecessary possessions, worries, and attachments. Her living space was cluttered with material goods, and her mind cluttered with anxieties about the past and future. One day, Tracy encountered a wise teacher who spoke of the importance of simplicity and letting go. The teacher shared a story. Imagine you have a room filled with all sorts of belongings, old and new. useful, and obsolete. As a room becomes crowded, it becomes harder to move freely and find what truly matters. The same goes for the mind. When cluttered with unnecessary thoughts and attachments, it becomes challenging to experience the peace within. So the teacher said start by decluttering your physical space, donate what you no longer need, and cherish what truly adds value to your life. As you do this, observe the parallels in your mind, let go of the regrets and worries, and focus on the present moment. Inspired by these words, Tracy began her journey of simplifying her life. She donated belongings, forgave past grievances, and embraced the beauty of simplicity. As the physical and mental clutter diminished, a sense of lightness and inner peace emerged. The teacher concluded, just as a clean and organized room allows for free moment, a clear mind enables a more profound connection with spiritual. Letting go of what no longer serves you is the key to unlocking the door to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. And so, Tracy learned the timeless lessons of releasing the unnecessary, creating space for what truly matters, and finding a deeper connection with the spiritual essence within. I hope that you enjoyed the story about if Jesus was here today. And I would have never thought about decluttering my house would really help declutter my mind. So I found that very, very interesting. So I'm going to talk about 10 different things that you can do to let go of these things that no longer serve you. All right. So the first one, cutting the energy cord. So a lot of people don't realize that whenever we have a toxic relationship or any relationship, that sometimes we attach ourselves to the other person's energy. And so yes, so you need to cut the energy cord so that you can let go of this person. And how I tell my clients to do this, there are several different ways that you can do it. But I always say, okay, connect in through meditation with this person, and then write something down, a letter of why you are letting go of them, okay, of this person. And also, for a little bit of forgiveness. And then once you write it down, I've heard several people, you can crumble it up, tear it up, you can put it on fire. And then what you need to do again is imagine the person's energy and hold the cord that's in between you and this other person. Get some imaginary scissors and cut it. All right. And say, you are no longer in my energy and I release you. All right, so that's one thing that you can do. The second thing is self reflect. Really think about these things that really hinder your spiritual growth because a lot of people, including myself, will keep myself busy. Like if I don't want to deal with something, I just keep myself busy. That way I don't have to think about it. All right, so you need to really self reflect, have that time to sit down and think about what is really hindering my spiritual growth. Why am I getting triggered per se? Why am I still emotional? Why can't I let this thing go? All right. So the third one, declutter your physical space. And I love doing this because a lot of times I find old things with memories, good memories. And I'm going, I know why I'm holding on to this. It's because it brings me the happy and the joy. But whenever you declutter, the energy in the room changes. It's like, oh my goodness, I can see my wall. I can see my desk. And it just makes you feel so much more, I don't happy and cleansed whenever you do that. The other day I went through my drawers, and I have the top drawer is all this junk that's been building up. We got to where we couldn't even open the drawer. It got so cluttered. And so I went and I rearranged everything in the store and it made me feel so good. But I'm thinking, you know what? Whenever I close it, nobody knows I decluttered something. But I knew it. And so there were some things that I was able to donate to charity. And so there you go. I'm letting go of when I self reflect and my mind. And then you declutter, you organize your house, and also have your children. If you have kids, get them to help you because that way they feel a part of it. So, all right, the fourth one, practice mindfulness and stay in the present moment. So, yeah, so practice, maybe have, those times where you do yoga, you do the meditation, you do, self care, all of these things to help you with your spiritual growth so that you can and definitely stay in the present moment because a lot of times we get fearful when we think about the future, and sometimes, again, we can't control everything. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then you think of the past, and then you go, well, what if I did this? And then you start contemplating, it would have been different. And my life would be, no, don't do that. Let it go. It's already happened, and you need to stay in the present. And what happens in the future happens in the future. All right. So then the fifth one, release resentment and grudges through forgiveness. So this is just if you're resentful for yourself, forgive yourself. If there are grudges towards a coworker, and I'm not talking about the energy cord, because energy cord is more energetic, because a lot of times you don't have that whenever you just have resentfulness for somebody. What I like to do is if there's somebody that really did something wrong to me, I always think about, okay, what positive things do I enjoy about this person? Maybe their smile, maybe their strongness or the stubbornness, because a lot of times you don't know what has happened to this person in their life. So again, they may be mean because they've had a difficult day. So just kind of turn that around, forgive them for how they behaved because you don't know what has happened in their life. But finding the forgiveness can be difficult. But it just changes things around and makes it so much more positive. Number 6, limit social media. Spend time in nature. So a lot of times, we get on that social media, we want to see what's going on. And, everybody is just doing different things. Sometimes if you have a bad day and somebody else is having a wonderful day, sometimes you might get resentful, right? And all these things are happening and you're thinking, well, how can I change my life? How can I do this thing better? Just get away from all of it and be with nature, listen to the birds, meditate in nature, and just relax and slow down that brain. That's why a lot of people have a hard time meditating. It's because those thoughts come in and they can't get rid of those thoughts or they can't go to sleep because they're thinking of all these thoughts. Um, 7, practice gratitude daily. So really think about, and I love doing this at night, thinking about what I was grateful for the day and being grateful for the great things, the ugly things, because this is how you can also release it. So if something terrible happened to you, look at a grateful, maybe you learned a lesson. What did I learn from this today? And be grateful for it. Because when you do that, you can release it. But if you're like getting the feeling and you're angry, it's really hard to let go of that. So, number 8, release expectations. This is when we really want to control things and we're going to say, I'm going to do this in the future. And when things don't happen that way, you go, oh, you start thinking, you think the world is against you and you're trying to say, well, why am I not manifesting these things to me? Okay, sometimes we don't know why. Your higher self, God, your spiritual team knows maybe it's not you're not ready to move forward in the direction that you're wanting to. You will someday. And so sometimes you just got to release it, let it go, and say, okay, you know what? If something terrible happens, I'm going to live through it. I'm going to kind of be happy. I'm going to be happy and maybe I'll learn from it and I'll move on from there. Just feel into it and then release it. All right. So I love this on number 9. Assess your commitment and responsibilities. So if you're working, you have children at home, you're going to sports events with them, you're volunteering in a community, And so you're being spread very thin. So assess your commitments and responsibilities, because what happens is you get really tired, and that's when the resentment comes in. And you can't deal with it. And you're going, why did I say yes? Why do they keep asking me? Because you haven't said no yet. So really assess your commitments and responsibilities. If you're overworking, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to change, look at what you can do differently. Leave an hour earlier, because I know a lot of you will overwork. Do that 12-hour day when you only need 8 hours, right? But you keep saying, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. Also, assess when you are able to have time for yourself and have that self care, so that you can, again, let go of things. Because if you keep yourself busy, you won't realize the things that are stacking up, that are making you angry and interfering with spirituality, that worry and everything. You can't look at it from a different perspective when you're tired. So, really slow down. And number 10, the most important thing is develop a regular spiritual practice. So again, it's almost like that self-care. Do that yoga, do that meditation. Be with people that believe in the same things that you do. That is just so powerful. And get out there and heal others through words, through happiness, and just giving yourself to other people as well, but not too much, but enough where you're helping them heal, and just doing something that really makes mankind better. And when you say everything is done, and whenever you're ready to cross over, you can say, you know what? I made a difference in the world. So develop regular spiritual practice. It's very important to do it on a regular basis, because that's where you connect into spirit. That's where you find your soul. That's how you nurture your soul. And that's where you know that there's something greater than yourself in life. And so I hope that these helped you about letting go things that no longer serves you. I do want to add one more thing to number 10. Whenever you do a spiritual practice, a lot of times when something is really, we're having a difficult time letting go and it keeps coming up, you can let go to God. You can say, God, please take away this burden. Please let me know how to deal with it. Please help me feel much better once it is gone. Okay. Show me how to let go of this. So, in other words, you're letting go. You're letting somebody else take the difficult situation away. That way you can really feel into it and heal yourself. So just let it go. Let somebody else take it. It's almost like Jesus take the wheel. Sometimes you've got to do that so that you can do that self-care. And it's almost letting it go to a friend, or go to a friend and talk to them about it, and then let it go for a while. So this, a lot of times we'll think, oh, we can let it go, and then something will happen, and then you'll get triggered, but you know what? It takes time just for anything else. And again, you are going to come out on the other side of the mountain, and you're going to say, yes, I did it. I hope that you enjoyed this segment of Essence of Spirituality. And I hope that you learned about how to let go of things, because you are worth it. Your life is worth it. You are love, and you need to love yourself, forgive yourself, and forgive others. So learn how to let it go. So, my question to you is this week, what are you going to do to grow your essence of spirituality?